Hi, I'm Charlie. We're out here on the customer's roof today doing a roof inspection. One of our insurance companies that I work with gave me a call the other day. The customer wanted me to come out and check for hail damage on her roof. So like I said, we're up on the roof, and one of the first things that I typically like to look for when I'm doing roof inspections, especially due to hail damages, I always go directly over to the roof jacks and roof vents. It's the first indication of whether or not the roof's actually had hail damage. And as we're here on this roof vent, you can clearly see the indentions up on top of this roof vent. That's telling me right away that they actually had hail that actually hit this roof. Okay? So let's just kind of walk around a little bit and take a look at the roof. Right off the bat, I'm up on top of the ridge here on the front of the house, and I see this nice big hole. You can see that I can actually stick my finger inside this hole. Okay, that is due to hail damage, and the hail is penetrated through there, so naturally what's going to happen, water is going to flow down in here, and it's actually going to start leaking, and then cause some major damage inside of your roof. Okay, let's just kind of walk around a little bit more. You can see, kind of zoom in here, you see where the hail hit right here. It actually knocked the corner of the shingle, and you can actually see the fiberglass going through here. This is an old 3-tab shingle that's been up here for probably a good 15 years, so these shingles are pretty brittle. And what happens if you let this thing go for a long period of time, all these granules and everything is going to be coming off of here, and it's going to start more damage. Let's go ahead and kind of walk around. I noticed one little spot over here as I was walking earlier. I kind of drew a circle in the middle of this roof. What I found is that as I'm pressing down here, you see it's very, very soft. It's due to water that actually leaked from up above and run down and saturated this area in the decking. As we kind of turn around, you can see kind of up above it, you can see how old these shingles are. They're all just brittle as can be. They're deteriorating, and water is actually coming in here, flowing downhill into that area and saturating that decking. Let's just kind of walk around a little bit more. We're up on top of the ridge, and you can see hit here. You can see up on top of your ridge that the granules and everything are already starting to break away quite a bit. And over a period of time, they're just going to keep going and keep going. Ridges are typically the soft spots of your roof because it's actually folding over your ridge point. So it's going to actually be, cause some leaks. Another thing, you can just see all over the back, we're kind of on the back side of the roof. You can just see multiple hits, and then you see where the age of the shingles. Look here, I can just take my fingers and I can just rub it off. And you can see the fiberglass. That is just very, very bad. Let's kind of walk around back over here. You kind of take a look at the chimney here. You can tell, let me get back there. You can tell that they've had some leaks in the past. See where they kind of came in here? They filled it in with some rubber cement. Look at this. Over a period of years, it's just peeling off. So all this right in here, what we're going to have to do on this particular job, we're going to have to take off all this flashing and replace it. And you can also see on the bottoms of the siding where it's already starting to rot. So they've had some major water damage and leaks and everything in this area. So we're going to try to address that. Walk around a little bit. Same scenario around this side of the chimney. And along along the back side, so you can clearly tell that they've had quite a bit of damage. Now look at me. We're back on the back side of the patio, and this is one of the mistakes that a lot of people do when they add patios on this. This roof right here is at a real low pitch, and it comes in and dives into a steeper pitch roof. I figured that this patio roof is only what they call like a 212 pitch. It rises 2 inches every 12 feet. It's very, very shallow. In scenarios like this, what I typically do, if I get this job, I'm going to be ripping all this out, and I'm going to be replacing this with modified roof. It's going to be a roll type roof, it's going to be a double layer. It's the best thing for very low pitch roofs. Because they're such low pitch, when you got shingles, wind gets up underneath them, flips them up. And the warranty and everything on these shingles, they just don't actually last that long on very low pitch. You can kind of see over here in this corner over here, where the wind's already starting to lift up the shingle. There's a piece of shingle right just laying there on top of the roof. You can see where it just kind of ripped it up, and you just don't want that. I don't know if you can kind of tell, but when you're kind of looking up through here, you can just see how the roof is just shiny. All along these edges here, you can see where the shingles are just kind of breaking loose. See, you can see the fibers. That's just due to wear and tear on the shingles. I guarantee you these shingles are probably a good 15 years old. Yes, they are 20-year shingles, but it doesn't really matter, you know, in this type of a climate. 20-year shingles don't last a full 20 years. When you got hot and cold, hot and cold. Let's talk a little bit about the breakdown of shingles, especially after a hailstorm. When it gets to this point here, like I said earlier, you know, you can actually see where the fiberglass is coming through there. It's just going to start really breaking down, and eventually you're going to have some major leaks. That's pretty much it up on this roof. Again, I'm Charlie. Thank you for watching this video, and if you need anybody to do the inspections, we actually do inspections for a lot of insurance companies, realtors. We do free estimates. If it actually turns into an insurance claim, we actually meet the adjusters out here for free to represent you, the customer. Thank you again, and God bless.